check it. So I got a friend of mine, right? He's been having some issues and some problems with his girlfriend, you know. Um, they have a 1 year old, and obviously I'm not going to name names and everything, keep it anonymous, you know. But basically, you know, they've been having some problems for a long time. And he called me last night, so I gave him some advice. And we're going to keep talking about this and, you know, see if I can help him, which I think I can. Um, so just to put it out there straight up, like, there seems to be a lot of toxic stuff going on, um, a lot of trust that hasn't been built, and basically some other people involved, right? So her parents, right? So I'm not too big on, you know, talking about the issues and the problems that people have. It's more so about the solutions, right? Because at the end of the day, if I'm like coaching somebody, right, you don't have to tell me everything, right? To the point where you could feel embarrassed or a little bit shameful. I just want to know the basics, and then I can basically steer you in the right direction of what you guys should be doing, right? As a couple. So keep in mind, and you can basis, you can get the basis of the story and the information as I'm explaining it, right? So anytime you got like somebody that's outside of the relationship or the marriage, it could be your parents, it could be friends, it could be other family members, siblings, whatever the case may be, right? That's not good, man. It's not good because you have a third party involved in your relationship. And the problem with that is the person has a connection with that other party. It could be like, say it's me, you know, and I got like my mom or my dad in my ear, or, you know, a really good friend of mine, or whatever the case may be. I got a connection with them, an emotional connection in some way. So they might say something that kind of plants the seed about who I'm with from their point of view, right? And you could say, yeah, you know, I could take it with a grain of salt, blah, 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 but at the end of the day, they're planting the seed, and that's not healthy. That's how major conflict can happen. You understand what I'm saying? Between the couple, or the marriage, whatever, the partnership, relationship, whatever you want to call it. So, yeah, man, especially if it's your parents, a girl, and her parents, that's even worse. You know what I mean? So, because keep in mind that women want safety. Women want emotional security and safety. And, you know, of course she's going to find that safety and comfort and all of that from her parents. But, you know, I believe that, you know, and the Bible says this, you know, I'm not religious, but the Bible does say this, that when you start a family, you're supposed to leave your mother and your father. You now are with the person that you start a family with, right? So everyone else comes secondary, you know. So basically, apparently what's been going on is, you know, when it comes to everything, especially in relation to raising their child, the parents are in the daughter's ear nonstop, and about him too. It's disrespectful. So it's confusing her, and causing her to get angry and all this kind of stuff, and watching every little mistake he makes, making it a big thing and all that. And especially when it comes to raising the child, you know, you got to be on the same page. So keep in mind, man, that, you know, and look, you know, people can disagree all they want and all of that, right? I'm just trying to talk facts, and from what I know and what I've learned over the years and what I've experienced and what I've read in, like, especially the Bible, for example, and put it all together. So the way God intended it was that the man is the head of the household, right? And the woman is to follow his headship. Now, it's got to be healthy though, because um, he tells the wives, he says, wives, respect your husbands, right? But husbands, love your wives. Treat them as your flesh. You know what I'm saying? You gotta really think about that, right? The man is supposed to love, you know, his wife or his girlfriend, whatever the case may be, and love her as himself, if not better, right? Protect her, right? But, on the flip side, the woman has to respect her husband and his headship, his leadership, you know. So it means to trust in his decisions and follow his lead. You know what I mean? That's respect, right? But what's going on here is, well, number one, they met, and they had the child very quick. I'm talking in a matter of months. So, that's not good because she did not get a chance to build that trust for him and get to know him and really understand him and build that, like I said, trust in his leadership. And he didn't get the chance to prove that to her, right? So there's a lot of questions there. Can this man protect me and be there for me emotionally, spiritually, financially, all those things, right? And especially if they start arguing at the start, even before they had the child, and a lot of problems was happening, a lot of toxic shit, then it starts the relationship off on a bad note. So fast forward, they've had the child, and they're a year in from the birth, a year in from having the child, and only a year and a few months of knowing each other. I don't know, something like that. I don't know the time frame fully, but you know what I mean, right? So you get what I'm saying. So look, here's a solution. First off, you need to create a healthy boundary. This is the girl. You have to create a healthy boundary with your parents or with your friends or whoever it is that's in your ear, right? Disrespecting your man and disrespecting his ways of doing things and his belief systems and all that kind of shit, right? Don't matter what they think. What matters is what you think. And as long as he is looking after you the right way and he's trying to protect you, provide for you, and look after your child together, and as long as he's wholesome and he's doing things in a healthy way and not abusing you and shit like that. And like I said, he gotta love you, right? So you gotta create a healthy boundary with the people, the third party that's in your ear, and say, okay, look, I respect you, I love you, whatever the case may be, but I need to. This is me and him can handle this, right? We got this. If we need your input, we'll ask you. Okay? You got to cut them off in that way. I know it's hard if they live with you. It's even worse if they live with you. You got to somehow figure out a different living situation. Because in my opinion, it's not healthy for parents to be living like it's kind of too much. You know what I'm saying? I couldn't do it. There's no way I could do it. Have my wife's like parents living under my roof, and it'd just be too much for me. You know what I mean? Or my parents, shit. Anyway, so that's the first thing. Number two, you as a couple need to go and gain some information on how marriages work. You need to learn. You need to study together. So there's a formula, right? Number one, you get the information. Okay, but just having the information is not enough. You can't just read something and think you know it, right? You got to then you need to then make sure you comprehend the information. So you do that by ingesting that information over and over again, talking about it, teaching it to other people, whatever the case may be. That's what's going to help you comprehend it, and that's going to help you understand the information. Once you have understanding of the information, which is true knowledge, right? You then need to apply that information and that knowledge, right? Which is, then you have wisdom, okay? So, but that's only once you can apply the information that you've learned, right? So, get the information, understand it, comprehend it, and then apply it, okay? So, okay, so just say you guys are fighting and everything's crazy and everything's toxic and shit like that. You need to be like, all right, okay. Either the man, approaches his wife or whatever, his girl, whatever, and says, okay, can we agree that our child is the most important person in this whole situation? Yeah, I'm sure that the wife or your woman will agree with that. That the child is the one who's the most important, right? Doesn't matter how I feel. Doesn't matter how you feel. What matters is, how our child is being raised, which should be in a two-parent household. And I'm sure a lot of people will agree with me on that. So what you do is you don't worry about the problems and the issues and what you did and what you said and whatever the case may be, right? You need to forget all that, and you need to sit down and gather the information and learn the information and all that with your significant other, right? With a clean slate, and go, okay, I like what he's saying here. I like what he's saying. Okay, right. How can I be better in this way? How can you be better in this way? Okay, all right. I see what I was doing wrong there. Okay, right. So, yeah, you need to go check out the work of Miles Monroe, right? He's a pastor from the Caribbean, and he is amazing at what he knows and what he teaches on relationships and fatherhood and how to be a great husband, how to be a great wife, and all of that. That's the information you got to go get, right? I've learned all that information. So, yeah, man, I think he can make it work with his girl. She needs to make a decision to give him a chance to build the trust and build his leadership skills within their relationship. And he needs to get wins along the way. You know what I'm saying? And build on that. So, okay, so how? All right. So, like I said before, women want safety, whether it's emotional safety, whether it's spiritual safety, financial safety, you know what I mean? They want to feel safe. That's what it is. So you need to be, you as a man, you need to be aware of what's going on, right, with your woman and where she might need help or support or just you being there. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what a woman wants. And just put her first in a lot of ways, if that makes sense. Once you do that, a woman will feel that connection with you and she will feel safe with you. And that trust will begin to build over time, right? So that's why it's important for a man to spend a lot of time with a woman before they, have a family and all that, because he needs to build that trust and that, respect from her. Because what does a man want? A man wants respect. A man wants to know that his family will respect him because he's confident in making decisions, right? He spent his whole life building himself up, going through rejection, going through, ups and downs and conquering all the bullshit that life throws at a young man. You know what I'm saying? That's a lot. So he's built himself up and he's a survivor. He's a winner, right? So when he has a wife and a child or children, he wants to come to their rescue. He wants to come to their aid. And he wants them to respect him and see him as the one that's going to be able to do that, right? So, yeah, he needs to build and earn that trust from his woman, right? And the woman needs to be able to let go of her past trauma with guys and whatever the case may be, and just make a decision to go, okay, I'm gonna give this guy a chance, and I'm gonna learn to trust him, right? So I can build that respect for him, and so he can look after us, and the family and all that. So anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna talk to my friend more about this, and hopefully have a three-way conversation with him and his girl. Hopefully I can help him out. I think I can if they just follow this information and what I'm trying to say. I think they can do it. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna take a little bit of emotional, maturity and stuff like that. But like I said, man, you have to think of who is the most important in this situation, and that's the child. You know what I mean? We can't be selfish no more. It's not about us, it's about them. So we got to be very rational, very logical, and just play our role right. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So yeah, once again, I hope you guys, anyone, got some value from this. And we'll speak more about this in the future. But yeah, peace.